Back to the channel. Yesterday I was able to get the Durango Hellcat in sealer. I wanted to spray her in striker green, but I had a hair from my beard fall in the roof. So what I'm gonna do, and it's right there, you can see it. So what I'm gonna do today is, well, what I have to do now, since the sealer has cured, it has a hardener in it, is sand everything in 600 grit. So since I am sanding this in 600 grit, this actually might make painting this a lot easier since I have to paint everything else. My plan was to just end up resealing everything and then spray it. But now, since I have to sand this in 600 grit, I have the side skirts up here that don't need any body work. So I could sand those in 600 grit and directly paint them. I'm not gonna have to seal them. The same thing goes with the passenger side doors, which are in the office. I have the other door for the driver's side, and only the driver rear door doesn't need any body work, but the driver front door needs a little bit of body work. The hatch needs a little bit. The rear bumper needs a little bit of work, but what I'm gonna do is I'm pretty much just gonna come in here and fix the little scuffs. There's a few little scuffs, hit it with a DA, then hit it with some high build primer right here. Same thing on the bottom. It was just on the driver's side that it got damaged. Hit it with some high build primer in that area, and then I'll just 600 grit the whole thing, and then just directly, I'll also seal this and then 600 grit the whole thing, and then just be able to paint it. So it should make it a little bit easier, even though this is a little bit more work. You can see how smooth this thing is. Compared to factory ones, this is so much smoother. I'm so mad that that hair got in there because everything laid out so nice. It was probably gonna be a nicer than factory paint job, but just from all the people's comments about the paint booth, everybody was saying those paint booths spray really dirty. But I mean, I have no dust in this thing other than that stupid hair that was in the roof. So let's get this thing sanded down. And now there's a little piece of string right there, but let's get this thing all blocked out in 600 grit, which is going to take probably all day, and then we could get her back in the booth. A whole lot of sanding and scuffing. I have the Durango sanded in 600 grit, And then I scuffed everything, like the jams, anything that didn't get 600 grit got scuffed with the gray pad. But there were a few spots where I sanded through to bare metal, so I spot primed those, and I'm just gonna go back and scuff them. And the reason, or spot sealed, the reason I did that was because sometimes the sealer reacts weird with the base coat. So sometimes, I'm not exactly sure why it does it compared to, you know, primers or anything like that, but sometimes the base will actually crackle on top of the sealer, and it's a pain. It's way worse than sanding the sealer in 600 grit, because then you have to sand it at 600 grit and the base really just wants to stick to the sandpaper. So the reason I sealed all this stuff right now was because I fixed that dent that was right there in the door sill, and some people were saying, well, you'll never see it, you don't really have to fix it, but it would have just, you know, whenever you open that door, you would have seen it, which I probably would have been the only one that saw it. So I just wanted it to be fixed because I spent all of the extra time to fix this. And then I'll just go back, and then I'll just have to scuff that when I scuff all of those little spots that I put some sealer on where it's bare metal. So just pretty much anywhere there's a corner, I was hitting it with 600 grit and it sanded through. These edges right here are fine because it's not to bare metal, but wherever there is bare metal, you definitely want to have some sealer on there. You don't want to just apply the base directly to the bare metal. You can do it, it works, but just for the sake of doing it correctly, this is the way to do it. I really wish I could figure out why that sealer does that, because I would have just done this right before I sprayed the base on there instead of having to go back and hit with some Scotch-Brite. So let's get this all unmasked and then remask it with all new stuff, because this has all the sealer on it, and as you can see, it likes to flake off, and we don't want any flakes to get in the base, because that would be a whole nother thing. So let's get everything ready to go and remasked, and then we could get, I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to use a blow up booth. I might just build a booth because the power has been off for the last day and a half. So yeah, I'd rather not have an issue with the booth with the power going back out. All the masking is now done on the Durango except for the bottom. So the reason I didn't do the bottom is because I want to be able to move it back and forth. And I'm going to use most of this plastic for the wheel, and I haven't put any tape underneath. I found it's a lot easier to not just use one big sheet over the whole car. Saves a lot of material. So what I ended up doing was cutting pretty much, you know, a pretty large piece, but then I just did one section at a time, and I think it went a lot faster. So another thing is when you're cutting it, you just pretty much run your razor blade along the tape a little bit away from that, and then you just go back over it with your finger to push whatever strands of plastic are still there to just kind of bond it. In a few spots it overlaps, so you just put a piece of tape so it doesn't have any way of, you know, paint blowing into the car. I pulled the old masking off and it still smelled like leather inside, which was really reassuring. On the bottom, I redid everything with brand new tape so I could get in there and wipe all of that sanding dust, just so I know when I paint this, it's not gonna have any dust in there. So when I spray across it, it's not gonna blow dust and then it'll get in the paint job. So we have everything ready to go. I also got all the holes up there back done, and this done, the fuel door hole done, and everything is ready. Inflate the paint booth like last time, plug all the lights in, get everything ready, roll the Durango in, and then all we have to do is tack her down with a tack rag and then spray. So hopefully she's gonna do a good job. The guns I'm using today, since I don't have to do any sealer, is I'm going to be using this gun right here, this Ernest Iwata that I haven't used yet. And then this one is a newer version of a clear gun that I have used. So I'm going to be using both of these really good guns. So we'll get everything set up, and I cannot wait to finally see the green on this car. Ooh, can't wait. She's gonna look really good. super glad that the Durango is finally in the color, and it looks really, really good. So the blow-up paint booth did work, but the more that I paint stuff in it, the dirtier it gets, and you can't really clean it. So I'm not exactly sure how I like the blow-up paint booth, because it's just kind of one of those things. It's almost like you just like throw it away after you use it a couple times. Like once to paint a car, you're just like, well, I'm gonna throw it away. So I need to figure something out. I was going to build a paint booth, but then it didn't work because it was too flimsy. So besides that, the Durango is in the color, and I really, really like this color. Compared to the Destroyer Gray, the Striker Green is by far way better. So let's get back. It's not even light out, but let's get back in the sun a little bit. She's still kind of tacky, so I don't want to touch her, but whoo, look at that. Whoo, man, I can't wait to put her in the sun tomorrow. Actually, probably not tomorrow, because I have a bunch of stuff over there, and I don't have any way to start it and drive it yet, because I need to order the dash and a bunch of other stuff. I'll order the dash, the airbags, new carpet for the front and the rear, and then I could start putting all of the interior back in it. Not all the interior, because I want to take this to the track tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be sunny so I could see how nice that, because there's a lot of gold in this paint, so it should just really light up when there's sun on it. So really happy with this color. I mean, she looks so good. I mean, I'm so happy with this color. Man, look at that. Whew. So glad that the body is finally painted. Now there is a bunch of other stuff that I have to paint, like the rear bumper and, you know, the lower valence and stuff. I might do a few pieces in black just so it breaks up the green, because the green is really, really aggressive and very bright. So I want to have something to break it up. Maybe I might do this lower valence right here in black. I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna have to figure that out. The grill's already black. Maybe the wing I'll do in black. We'll see what happens. Also, this paint is a lot more transparent than all the other ones I have sprayed, so it takes a lot of coats to actually cover, which I was very surprised with how many coats it took to cover this thing. So hopefully I have enough paint, but I have 2 gallons of sprayable paint, so hopefully we don't run out and then I have to get it matched, and then, you know, that's a nightmare. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head home, edit this video. Tomorrow I can pull all the masking off of this, then order all of the stuff that I'm going to need to get this car finally back together and drivable. I need to order, I have a driver's side fender, but I think it has this like weird little thing, so I might just order a new driver's side fender. Then I can paint, you know, the old passenger side fender, a brand new fender, a brand new bumper, a brand new hood. Then I could fix this bumper and this valence, paint that, and that'll be all together. And then all the flares, paint those really quick. I mean, those are going to be very easy. The side skirts are going to be very easy. And then the wing, I need to fix that. But there isn't very much. And then the doors. So the driver door I need to fix, and the rest of the doors are pretty good. I'm going to leave the mirror caps black, so I have the doors in here. And we have 2 good doors. Both passenger side doors were very good. I'm going to leave the mirror caps black so it breaks up the green as well. Leave all this stuff black, blacked out, and just kind of go from there. The door handles, I'll probably end up painting. Somebody said I should paint those black too, but I don't know. I'll have to think about that. And yeah, this door is pretty much destroyed. The glass is destroyed. And then I can start getting all these parts back in the Durango. So, gonna end the video here. If you guys like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. Look at my wrist. That paint suit isn't long enough because I'm so tall. As always, see you guys next time.